Unless you live under a rock, you must have heard about the new DJI O4 air units releasing. If you've ever had digital FOMO or wondering is now the time to pull the trigger on a new system, this is the video you need to watch. G'day, Stu here from UAVfutures, and about a month ago DJI released their O4 air units. Now there was a huge big buzz and excitement around the O4 Pro units. However, the little brother right here, the Lite, received less attention, and that was probably for some good reason, because like you're going to see in this video, we're going to put it on the bench, we're going to break it down, we're going to look at the techs and the specs. Now before anybody loses their minds and says, Stuart, how can you hate DJI so much? You're just bashing it because you want something else.
Stuart, how can you hate DJI so much? You're just bashing it because you want something else.
Let me just make this very, very clear. This product right here, on paper, sounds like it was designed for me and my flying styles. It was not the racers, not the freestyles, not the whoop pilots. You know who this was made for? People who like around a 2-inch little craft that want a tiny HD FPV video system. Well, wouldn't you know it, this was my craft of 2024. I've done more videos on the Lightning V2 than any other drone on my channel. As far as I'm concerned, the Lightning V2 was the best craft ever made. So if anybody wants an awesome little compact 4K transmitter right here, it's going to be me. So what we're going to do, we're going to break it down, look at the techs and the specs, cram it into a Lightning, show you the flight footage, and find out ultimately, is this a good system? Should we jump in and support it in 2025 if you're into FPV? And as a bit of a bonus, I've actually got a spare one of these to give away. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to put a post. It's going to be down on DIYFPV. I'm going to put the link there. All you got to do is respond to that comment on DIYFPV, and then we're going to choose someone, and hey, Bob's your uncle, you're going to get a Lightning V2, which as far as I'm concerned is the perfect drone, and I can't wait to fly it around in this video with the DJI O4. All right, let's kick it off with the actual unit itself. The big one, it's coming in at around $110, which is kind of crazy in this day and age considering the actual tech inside here and the quality of the feed you're about to see in this video. If I throw it on my scales, it doesn't really do it justice because my scales are not accurate enough for this video, so we turn it on here. I think it's going to say around 10 grams, but it doesn't give me any, oh, there we go. We're saying 9 grams here, but I'll put the actual specifics on the screen, and that is quite important because every single gram counts when it comes to tiny little craft like this. Now, it is even more important on a little 1S quad, so some little whoops or some tiny little micros that are flying around. It says it can handle that with its voltage ranges. It can take a 1S pack, so like 3.7 volts, it is able to operate that at. However, there's some very big limitations and things you've got to take note of if you are going to do that. It is really much more suited to some 2S craft, which is exactly why we're putting it in the Lightning. It's got onboard recording. A couple of things that I want to mention though, when you are going to be putting this in your craft, the camera mount right here, so if we have a look, the camera mount absolutely sucks because it is not compatible with like every single other drone we have right here. It's got these stupid little, I guess, screws. We've got 4 screws on each side. I'll see if I can put some more high-res pictures on the screen. I don't like that. I have some concerns. I'm going to show you a little bit when it's actually in the craft about the ribbon connector coming out the back of the camera right here. So there's some durability things that I'm a little bit worried about. But look, overall, it can record in 4K, it's tiny form factor, it can power off a 1S, although we're going to do it in a 2S little craft. It is very light, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to fly around, but it's not without some limitations. So let's do that now. All right, well, that took a little bit longer than expected. It's now like a couple of hours in the future. However, the big difference, we finally have the O4 air unit installed. It's in our little Lightning, we activated it, we've linked it up to our goggles. It is ready to rip around, but check this out. I'll see if I can put some pictures on the screen as well. Something that I absolutely hate off the bat, the camera case that it comes in. It is absolute garbage, and I have a very nice solution, which is this little foam that I've got this one sitting in. It is very nice, snug. I think it protects it better than the previous solutions. However, that's going back like 8 years. That's what we had to do 8 years ago before we realized, oh, we should get some decent camera mounts. The DJI camera mount for this Lite unit, just, it sucks all around. I don't like it. And I have some very serious concerns with also the strength or just how fragile that little connector can be on the back right there, which is why I've covered mine in absolute glue. And the last thing before we rip it around, let's throw it on the scales, tear this off, because I've got 3 Lightnings here. I've got my walksnail version. We've got the version you can win over on DIYFPV. I'll be sending that out to somebody. And now we have the O4 version. So if we throw the O4 version on first, it's coming in 41 grams. I throw the analog version on, it is 37 grams. And I've got the walksnail version here. It's coming in at 46 grams, although that does have a little bit more heat shrink, a couple of extra zip ties and a larger antenna and some LEDs. I mean, there's a couple little extra things, but all in all, they're within, I would say, 6 grams of each other, 4 or 5 grams. But the biggest difference, before we go rip it around, check this out. This camera, I have absolutely smashed. I've still got it in the frame right here, and I can put some pictures on the screen.
Wow, look at that impact.
I thought this would have been shattered in half, and amazingly, the walksnail 1S kit, when I had one of the biggest crashes I've ever had with the Lightning, I still got video and I was still able to fly it, like directly after this huge crash. I'll put it at the end of the video, but I'm a little bit scared, and I don't really want to crash this thing on purpose with the O4 Lite unit. So let's do it now. Let's go out to the field and fly this thing around and show you, is it improvement? Is it hype? Should you get one, or is it a good digital system? Let's go have some fun with Stickman Steve in 3, 2, 1. It is time, my favorite craft with the lightest next generation of digital in here. We've got the O4 Lites, or I guess you call it the non-pro version from DJI. We've got Stickman Steve in the background. We are gonna scream around the Lightning, see what it's like, and I guess compare it to, is it an upgrade? How's it go? Is it good? Should you get it? Was it hype? All that sort of stuff. So let's do it, have some fun, and see what this man thinks as well. Where's record? Hang on, let me see if I arm. I'm not recording yet, need to. No, it's not, I'm not getting any indication. I mean, it looks great, it's looking good, but I'm not getting any indication that it's recording. I doubt it is. There's no little red lights or anything like that. Hang on. So this is actually not that clear in the menu, but going through, shout out to some people on some forums, maybe we should check out DIYFPV, but going through, there's like a shortcut menu going across. I've started record on that. However, it's not recording on both, even though I've set it to both right here. Auto record on takeoff. Okay, we should be good. Okay, I gotta take off because we're getting very, very hot. Oh no. No, that was me. I've just got to cool it down. You know what I mean? Like I'm getting that call warning here. Aircraft processor overheat. So I'm just going to go around and do a few punch outs. Okay, I think we've cooled it down. We've caught it just in time. So that's something you can't really do with these, is plug them in and leave them sort of just sitting there. But let's go for a little rip. I do love the Lightning, and the colors look really good with this. Normally fly around with the walksnail 1S kit, but this, I have to say, straight off the bat is feeling fantastic. And mixed with these goggles as well, it is a beautiful flight experience. I think it's not going to be as good as the O4 Pro or the DJI O4 Pro unit.
Or the Goggles 3.
Yes, that is true. But just straight off the bat, I'm not having any complaints.
It's more than enough, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. It feels fast, it feels responsive.
What about coming in and out of the sunshine?
Yeah,
mate?
I was just looking at that. Like the exposure, it's okay. I think I've seen better, but it's nothing to complain about as well. Like everything that you are getting here is really good. I feel like though, I've got it set on the wide field of view, but even then it still feels a little bit narrow. Like I don't feel like I'm seeing too much, and I absolutely hate, can I just say, Steve, when I was building this, that dumb camera mount, that absolutely sucked. It is the worst. I did a better job with about 2 cents of foam than the fellas at DJI could come up with. So I do not like their mounting solution whatsoever, especially on a tiny little craft like this. It is even more important to get it right. If you have a larger camera, chances are, like on the O4 Pro, you've got more room to sort of work a solution. This is made for those tiny, tiny little craft, and we really don't have that much room to come up with our own custom options. So DJI needs to lift their game there. I'm impressed. Like, besides the field of view,
how do you go for range? Like if you go out behind some trees far away.
Let's go for a little bit of a rip here. Now we are on a ceramic antenna, which is on ELRS, which is not my preferred thing. This is an old, this is just a straight up brand new Lightning V2 analog changed here. But okay, we are out here. It is absolutely gorgeous. Not a single loss or like bit of jittering or anything like that.
Okay.
You will not be able to see where I am. It is stunning out here. So yeah, that range is very impressive, and that makes me really excited as well for the, I guess, the Pro version, which I've seen some videos of them. Sorry, I'm getting bitten by bugs. I've seen some of those videos, and the O4 Pro looks even better than this. So I have to say,
sorry,
you're getting bitten as well.
Yeah, big one.
Now, I am a little bit worried about just how fragile this thing can be as well. So that's why if you were going to smash this, and I've smashed my Lightning before and recovered it, like absolutely destroyed it, and somehow the camera kept working. But I have seen reports, and I do not want to test this because I only have one of these units at the current time. The way that this is sort of mounted in the back of the camera and connected with those ribbon cables or little connectors, it's not good. It's not good. So it is performing well, but design-wise, for me, it loses a few points. And that's absolutely why you probably saw a lot of people talking about the O4 Pro to get that hype going of DJI instead of the O4 Lite. Like, for me, the O4 Lite is probably what I was most excited about because this is my favorite type of craft, but I do have some durability concerns. All right, I actually just flew around. It says for 3 minutes and 50 seconds. I didn't notice too much. Let me come in for a little.
Oh, it's over that way.
I didn't notice too much extra battery sag, so that was something I was kind of concerned about. I do think you'd notice it if you put it on a 1S kit though. I think it's still not small enough to really go well on a little mobile, like a 1S or something, without significantly sacrificing your flight times. I think you can do it, but you are going to pay for that in flight times. First, something like a 25 milliwatt analog BTX that's built in or something. Anyway, turn it over to Stickman Steve and see what he thinks.
Yeah,
I mean, a menu.
Into a menu, yeah.
Yeah. I put it on self-destruct.
There we go. Record. Yep, that's recording.
All right, Stickman Steve, you're about to take off. We've got the O4 DJI right here, ready to rock and roll in your favorite craft, the Lightning V2.
Oh, I love them. Yep.
Let's do it. You are armed. And he's away. This is probably the perfect craft for you to test as well because you have flown this so many times.
Yeah, I love it.
So what is this camera like?
This camera is beautiful, mate. For lack of any other word.
Okay.
It is beautiful. For a little O4 Lite, you know, something that can fit into these smaller craft, I think it's about time DJI got on board, right? Yes, it's got some little caveats. I don't like the mounting solution for it.
Yeah,
I think that's...
I wonder why. Yep.
That's an absolute disaster. The way you've done it though, with the foam.
Yes.
Although it's albeit a custom job, it sits in that frame, like it is protected, right?
It is well protected. It is covered in hot glue. Like, I am the one fixing DJI's mistakes right here.
Yeah.
So, you know.
It's like, hey, let's build this awesome new camera that just doesn't fit in it.
Feel free to join my Patreon DJI if you're like, yeah, that's a good design right there. Or anybody else for that matter.
Yeah.
Yep. How are the colors on this version? And you got to remember, this isn't even the Pro version, so yes.
It's not too bad. We've just slapped it together and left everything on absolute auto. Yeah, it's good. Nice and vibrant greens. That's one of the good things about the Aussie bush. You know, you can spot everything that's coming at you. Got good contrast. When it's coming in and out of the shadows, there's a lot of exposure flickering adjustment, I guess you'd call it.
Okay.
It's just in and out, in and out, in and out. That's kind of annoying.
Is it taking away from your flying, or are you looking for that? Because it was only after you noticed it that I was like, okay, when I'm thinking about it. Yep.
Oh man, I'm getting eaten. No, it is really annoying. Like coming through here, if you're doing speed runs like we have in the past, it might not be coming up on the DVR. I hope it does, but yeah, it takes away. It's very distracting, you know.
All right. How's your battery voltage?
I don't know, where is it? 7.4.
All right.
I'm good.
You want to go for a little spin up the top, like go up to like where the top right trees that are a long way away?
Yeah, right.
Which is crazy for something that small.
Yep. And it's just holding 60 megabits the whole time.
Yeah.
The transmission on this thing is next level. It really is.
Okay, that's out.
I'm down to
where
17.
Okay.
All right.
That's you. I don't know where you went. You're out there.
I'm out over the furrows, mate.
Okay. Oh, way up there. All right. So that's probably up.
That was clear line of
here.
sight too, so that might be its limitation.
Yes.
No earth or trees between me and the craft.
Yep.
Just low to the ground.
And this is set up as auto too. You know, like power levels and that sort of stuff.
Roger. But yeah, honestly, man, pretty impressive. Couple of little design flaws, but you can get around them, right? You can make it work. I think they could have done a lot better for the consumer.
Any latency? This isn't even in the race mode as well.
No, I mean, I fly walksnail, and from everything on paper, this is very comparative.
Yep. In like this
A little bit of
non-standard
image
version.
stuttering there. What's going on? Full megabits. Might be the craft.
Where are you?
Oh, I'm going too far again. I was back up towards the farm.
Yeah, I'm getting concerned because this is how I know that I like it, because I want you to not
want me to
lose
bring
it.
it
I
back?
still want to keep flying with it. No, it's good. This is good. The people need to see this testing. All right, I'll let you bring it in and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, okay. Going from lights to darks is not bad in the sun, if that makes sense, you know, like your different dynamic range.
Okay.
But yeah, in and out of the shadows, I think is...
So if it's like a quick flickering through the middle, you sort of notice
the sun,
it?
quick glare off, it's pretty bad.
Oh, that was a very nice landing.
Someone's got to do it.
Steve,
Hey.
here is the O4. What did you think?
I think, honestly, really good.
You liked it?
Really good. I did, yeah. I'd love to try it on some Goggles 3, you know, get that full experience.
Yes.
But honestly, man,
For a cheap pair?
yep. And if you're already invested in a system, whether it be analog with a VRX or cheaper walksnail Ls or whatever, if you don't want to have that initial outlay and just go crazy, spend $1,000 to get one transmitter and a pair of goggles, I think this is an awesome option. Honestly,
Okay.
I could fly these all day and I wouldn't complain. at
Yeah,
all.
yeah, I really liked them as
Yep.
well. All right. So anything you'd change before we wrap this up on the
Yeah.
DJI O4 itself?
Yeah, start selling it with little bits of foam that fit our quads.
Yes.
That would be ideal. So we had to do some decasing and whatever, and it just seems like, honestly, they've thought, okay, let's bring out this camera. How can we make it really hard to mount?
Yeah, and fragile.
And very fragile. So honestly, mate, to be able to put DJI and get that crystal clear image through a craft this small, yeah, awesome.
Yep.
Massive thumbs up.
Okay.
Couple little physical boundaries with it, with mounting and things like that, but you know, if you're a little bit savvy or you really want to just have a go,
I think
too bad.
I think there might be hope if they sell a camera in the future. Look, DJI is probably not too much to sell new versions halfway through.
yeah.
But if you just sold a whole new camera that had a different mounting solution,
Yeah.
I'd be all for it.
100%.
Yep.
And look, this is their first 1S sort of solution, you know, their first light solution, and it's kicking some goals. I think obviously it's got a little way to go to be awesome. Apart from that, mate, yep, flying it, awesome.
All right, guys, get your tinfoil hats on here, because I have to say no one loves or wants this size of craft to fly more than I do. This is my favorite size of flying. Did DJI mislead the hobby, or was it just really, really clever marketing? I gotta say, the O4 Pro, that looks amazing. You're gonna see some videos coming out on my channel about that soon, but the reason you didn't hear about the O4 Lite, or just the standard O4 unit that we've got right here, is because it does have some serious limitations, and this is what you need to know. Does it perform well? Yes, I love all the options that it gives you, like the race mode, all that sort of stuff. The penetration is good. The picture, it is great. For what you get in this small, tiny form factor, it performs very, very well. However, do you want to put it in your craft easily? Ha! Good luck, because the mounting solutions are absolutely garbage. The camera does feel a little bit compressed. I guess the field of view feels quite small when you're looking through it as well. And the big one for me, it is very, very fragile. Now, I haven't broken mine, but I have taken so many steps to make sure that that doesn't happen. The connectors on the back, the way that the lens goes in, everything looks extremely fragile, and I think we deserve better, because if you break this, well, DJI is going to be like, oh, they've forked out to get the goggles. They can just buy another one, but I don't think that is good enough. And this is the wild part, right? Those eagle-eyed viewers, if you were watching this, you would have noticed, why was my onboard never recording? There is no way, I do not know how this happened, we could not get it to record on the day. You would notice it always says 30 minutes, 30 minutes. We always had 30 minutes left in here. I'd set them to record on both. I was asking mad techs, and people were like, what is going on here? Do you know how we fixed that? And please, if you know how this worked, I needed to check if the onboard storage on here was actually accessible. I plugged it into my computer. Of course, it said nothing in there. Because the recording wasn't happening, I transferred a file, just a little picture of my daughter onto there to see, hey, I can actually write to the drive, took the picture off, and then I was showing this on my live stream, and wouldn't you know it, writing a file, any file, or in this case, a picture, to the onboard storage, and then deleting it, it decided, hey, you know what? Now we are going to record. So if you run into that absolutely crazy bug where you can't access or it won't record for you, there's a little tip. Just put a file on there, then delete it. For some reason, that sort of like kickstarts it, and I was able to actually get some onboard recording. Now you're gonna see some more videos coming out as well. Here's a little sneak peek of me flying around with Stickman Steve. We're testing race mode, doing a whole bunch, but overall, the O4 Air unit, the O4 Lite, it is great. I like it. I like what it does in performance. I like its price. No one wants to fly these things more than me. However, it is fragile and you guys need to know about it. So think about the craft you're putting it in. We do deserve better, and especially the mounting options. They are terrible. I thought DJI would be better at that. And if you know why my DVR was not recording, like why did putting a file on there and taking it off magically started to work, just please let me know in the comments. And if you want a free Lightning V2 for those viewers who are still here, remember, I'm gonna put a link below. Just let me know your thoughts on the O4 Lite Air unit. Could be good, could be positive, could just be a general comment on it. It's gonna be over on DIYFPV. I'll choose someone on there and then we'll get you this version. I'll send it out to you. It's an analog version, but you can slap in whatever VTX you want, whether you want to go HD0, whether you want to go DJI, whether you want to go walksnail, keep it on analog. That's going to be your choice because that's what this hobby is all about. The DIYFPV link is down below, and as always, happy flying.